Hey there YouTube friends, this is David. Thank you for joining me once again in another video and welcome to this first tutorial focused on industrial design sketching. Today we're going to be looking at how to draw and use some arrows in our sketching projects. Arrows are very useful when you wish to point out something in particular in your designs or try to show the functionality and interaction between two elements of your product. So in this quick tutorial we'll be focusing on three kinds of arrows that I personally find to be the most useful ones when product sketching. A normal arrow, used to indicate or point out something in your drawing, a turn or twist arrow, used to show the turning interaction of an element in your proposals, and an opening function arrow. Knowing how to quickly draw these three arrows will enhance your sketching considerably and will give your drawings more personality. So let's focus on the first arrow of the list. And what I want to do with this kind of arrow is to draw them in a way in which they have some presence in the canvas. And to do so, we need to give them volume and draw them in a generous size. So we're going to avoid a typical line and triangle arrows at all costs and rather use the rules of perspective to extrude our arrow from a plain sketch. To begin with, I suggest you draw a line that points to the direction of what you're trying to highlight or indicate in your sketch. Now this line should cover the entire length of the arrow since it will start from the very edge of the backside all the way to the tip of the arrow. Then draw two parallel lines from that initial line on both sides. These lines, however, should be shorter and will define the width of the arrow. So play with the distance between them until you're happy with it. And if you're drawing this arrow facing the same direction, on the tip of the initial line, draw a horizontal line going to the left and a diagonal line going to the right, as you can see here. These lines will be the triangle of your arrow. Then we need to close the arrow by drawing two lines that will go to the opposite direction of the initial lines. This will close the triangle and length of the arrow itself. We could leave the arrow as it is, or we can add some more character by adding some volume downwards. To do this, simply draw small vertical lines on every edge of the arrow and then close them with some parallel lines of the initial sketch, and you're done with that. So we can give the arrow even more presence by adding some line weight and shadow lines. And that's it. As you can see, we have a very clear and bold looking arrow. And this is exactly what we want when we have tons of drawings and can easily get lost among them. Remember, no matter in what direction you need to point out something in your drawing, you can always easily guide yourself using some basic perspective rules and draw your arrows in that direction. Moving forward, we have the second type of arrow, which is the turn or twist one. And this arrow is commonly used when we want to show a circular motion or interaction between two objects, or even in a single object, like in a moving tire. However, for this example, let's suppose we have a bottle that opens right in the middle and we need to tell our users that they need to twist the lid in one direction to open it. We can use a small curved arrow and really that will do the trick, but we've already put so much effort in our drawing and proposals that we might as well just draw a more dramatic arrow instead. So the first thing we need to do is to draw two ellipses over our bottle, and the first one will go over the lid and the second one over the bottle itself. Now this is important since we want to highlight an interaction between two elements and not just one. Now we proceed by closing the ellipses together and we have formed a cylinder. We can then draw the triangle of the arrow by locating the center of the cylinder and drawing the diagonal lines of the triangle larger than the limits of our cylinder. Finally, we need to draw a vertical line in front of the triangle, and this line is going to be the back side of the arrow, and will allow for a small space between the tip of the triangle and the back side of the arrow to let the observer see which items the arrow is interacting with. So I'll draw the arrow once again, marking each step along the way. And with this arrow, I personally don't recommend you add volume, since adding volume to a cylinder will leave a very small window for you to draw objects that go inside the arrow cylinder. Also, when drawing this arrow, try to leave some space between it and the objects so it doesn't look like a sticker that was added to the surface of the product. Finally, let's work with an open and close function arrow, which is typically used to show an interaction between two moving objects that interact radially, such as doors, laptops, and hinges. To make this arrow, we only need to guide ourselves using 1/4 of a cylinder in the direction of the movement we're trying to show. So in this case, we'll position ourselves right in the middle of the object, and let's imagine it's a laptop. We will follow the curvature of 1/4 of a cylinder, giving the arrow enough width to make it stand out. Then we draw a curved line right in the middle that is slightly larger to establish the tip of the triangle and close the entire geometry. You can add some thickness to this arrow without worrying too much, since it doesn't wrap anything around it. And that's it. So as always, friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this quick tutorial useful, and if you like what you saw and wish to see more sketching videos, subscribe to our channel. I post videos on urban sketching, digital sketching, and more. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.